Hello there guys, it's Stephen here. Manchester City versus Southampton is coming up tomorrow and I wanted to do a very quick preview. No fancy graphics, just straight to the point and talking about the game. What prompted me to do it was the fact that I did a preview with the Southampton fan channel, The Ugly Inside, and I had a bit of a kind of epiphany during recording that video, which I'll put a link to somewhere around here for you to go and watch. I realised how hard it is to talk about Man City and not sound arrogant at the moment. It was really weird being on the receiving end of the questions and thinking there is absolutely no criticism about this team at the moment. It was very hard to pick out a flaw. It was very hard to just not be gushing of praise, and it kind of made me realise that other teams probably fear us as much as we fear losing this winning streak that we're on. There is genuinely a palpable sense of fear from other fans' teams around us, and I kind of realised that when I was talking on the channel. It just struck me as something that we're not particularly used to in general as a City fan. I had to be quite humble. I don't want to go on some other channels and be a cocky dickhead. That's not who I am as a person, as I think you'll all know. So in general, try to play down things, but I struggled to play down how good we actually are at the moment. He asked me one question: what was our weakness? Where could Southampton get us? And that's what made me think when I couldn't really pinpoint anything. The few things I did think about in general were maybe the passing of time could get to us, maybe the inevitability that eventually we're going to have to lose. Eventually, at some point, this winning streak is going to come to an end. It just has to. That's just logic. That's the law of averages. And I guess that will eventually build up in our heads, and eventually it'll probably get too much and it'll just kind of happen and we will lose a game. So I guess there's inevitability, there's just time. And then I thought, where else? Well, we've got a naive left back, you could say, but Delph's been fantastic there, though he isn't a natural left back. And I thought maybe actually Vincent Kompany as well. Now, I love Vinny, don't get me wrong, but he's had a lot of time out, and it's fair to say these days he probably isn't on number one. I think Stones and Esteemed have been absolutely excellent, and Vinny probably hasn't quite indoctrinated into Pep's methods in the same way those two have, given the fact he's not had the game time. And I think it's probably noticeable that he's a lot more physical than the other two, and maybe hasn't kind of relaxed into the ball playing style that Pep requires. I've got no doubt that he can do it, but I would say that's probably a slight area to be got at. But I'm talking margins here. And then I thought, well, what else is the weakness? What else is the weakness in our team? At the moment, it's probably squad balance, but at an individual level, we're playing everyone the form we're in. I don't think squad weakness is going to make a difference for Southampton. It's very strange to sit here and struggle to name a weakness, and I guess that made me realise how good we actually are at the moment. We don't really need it repeating, but it sometimes is worthy when you have a little bit of a moment of clarity, when you're chatting to someone else, an outsider, so to speak, someone who isn't a Manchester City fan, and they just point out how intimidating the thought of going to the Etihad is these days. And I guess credit has to go to Pep on that front. Now, I wouldn't be a City fan if I didn't slightly fear this run coming to an end at some point. We had this horrible realisation that the world could come crashing down at Huddersfield at half-time when we all absolutely shit ourselves, and I shot myself, and in hindsight it was naive, but that game was absolutely huge for us. I was telling the Ugly Inside, the fan channel, that this is probably the worst time to face us this season. I think we needed that win. We needed that moment of clarity, that moment of focus, just to realise we can face these challenges. 4-0 is great, and Pep said exactly the same thing as I said in my match reaction. A 2-1 in a game like that, now that is the kind of team, that is the kind of game, sorry, that tests your mental credentials. And it was fascinating to watch the players celebrate on the pitch afterwards like they'd just won a cup final. That game and that victory meant loads to them. And I think now we're going to be even more focused. I know this could be the famous last words, and touch wood all around me everywhere. Hope I haven't jinxed it there, but I think we look more focused than ever. And I think this will probably be a team that will go to Southampton with a bit between the teeth. And I think Southampton will be shitting it, if we're being honest with you. Now, that's not to say they can't get us. They've got some good players. Charlie Austin is the kind of player that will score against Manchester City. Shane Long has historically played very well against Manchester City. Then they've obviously got Dusan Tadic and Buffal as well. And Stephen Davis got a cracker at the weekend. I can see Redmond, if he gets on, having a run at our defenders. They've got some good little players there. And they're not infallible. I wouldn't be surprised if Yoshida and Van Dijk had a great defensive partnership to maybe boost their reputations a little bit. And obviously, off the back of a 4 win at Everton, Southampton are a good side sat in mid-table, and they will provide a challenge. It's just weird thinking that I don't really fear anyone these days. This is what Pep's built. He's built this team of winners. He's built this team that believe in themselves. He's built confidence and this kind of never say die attitude. Every question he's been asked, he's ticked it off, and it's great. But anyway, guys, it was just a very quick match preview. I wanted to discuss those points that I realised. Go and watch that video because they're a good channel. They're growing like mine, and they're good lads as well over there. Grant is a good lad and a good Southampton fan, and he seems like a very nice man. First time I've been on the channel, but it seems like a very good channel. My prediction is It's 3-0. I think we're going to win comfortably in this game. Sorry, Grant. Sorry, Southampton fans. I just can't see us going wrong. Let me know what your prediction is going to be. I think it'll be more or less an unchanged team. Maybe we'll see Gabriel Jesus come back in as well. Yeah, I think that we'll see Gabriel Jesus come back in. But other than that, I think the team will be exactly as it was. I think Aguero will drop to the bench and Jesus will be in there. Anyway, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your prediction in the comments. Go subscribe to their channel as well because he's a good lad with this Grant. And I'll see you for a match reaction of the game. Maybe even a vlog if I get to bring my camera along to the game. See you later, guys.